What's up guys, my name is Outdoors. I have a compressor from a company that I never thought would make compressors before. And I was looking at their Amazon store and saw that they have compressors. And so I wanted to try it out. So the reason why I was looking at their store is because it is actually Goyojo who made this thermal optic, which is, I believe, the most affordable thermal scope, at least that I'm aware of or have used. Not that I've used a ton of them, but at least that I'm aware of. And so I was curious. I've used a few other things before: thermal monoculars, night vision, a bunch of different stuff. And so I noticed they had this, and I wanted to try it out. So I've had good experience with them in the past. So let's pull this sucker out. This one is rated for 4,500 PSI. It is auto stop. There we go. Also packaged in there pretty densely. Not gonna come out. Which for the record is a good thing. I would be more concerned if it bounced right out. There we go. It's a hefty one, but very compact. So we've got our start button, we've got our temperature gauge right here, pressure gauge, bleed valve, phosphor fitting, burst disc, voltage selector down there. Really kind of the standard stuff. Then back here we have our power, both AC and DC, and our accessories. We've got our cotton filters, we have our extra burst discs, we've got O-rings, all that good stuff. We've got our battery cover cables, not jumper cables, I guess, but you know what I mean. Not for the battery. I've never seen this kind of filter before. Typically they're the ones with like the knurled finish, but this is interesting. So this one, okay, it's still got pretty thick walls. Oh yeah, nice thick walls. Good heavy duty threads. Yeah, seems pretty much like most of the other ones that you see. Oh, interesting. It does have a little indentation right here. I'm assuming that's to put like a Allen wrench or something in there to loosen it if it's too tight. At least that's how I've seen it on other filters, like heavy duty ones, like the GX one. We've got our little cap on here. All right, so I'm gonna walk you guys through how to use this, just in case you haven't used them before. I always do that for all the compressors, because if you start them up wrong, you can damage them. It's just kind of how they work. So get your power cable. Most of the time the fan turns on as soon as you plug this in, so if it does, I will unplug it and walk you guys through the setup. So plug it in there. Okay. Yeah, so fan turned on right away, so I'm gonna turn that back off while we walk through how to set up. So take your hose, plug it into your phosphor fitting right there. Make sure this little screw right here is loose. Don't undo it all the way, but just loosen it a little bit. If you undo it all the way, sometimes they have like a ball bearing in there, and that's what actually holds the pressure. Or the better ones have like a pointed tip that holds the pressure, but either way, you don't need to undo it all the way. Just make sure it's loose. And that makes sure that the system doesn't start under pressure. That's one of the things that'll kill these, is if you start the piston under pressure, then it just kills them over time pretty quickly. That and letting them run to a high temperature is what you don't want to do. This one has a temperature gauge on it. Let's see if they say, let's see if they have a specified temperature to avoid here. Just says operate in a well ventilated space. Does have auto stop. Again, this walks you through all of it. Yeah, I don't see. Oh, that's cool. It actually shows you how to tear it all down and replace O-rings and stuff like that, because being, you know, an electric engine, you know what I mean, it does need maintenance occasionally. Looks like this one says after 20 working hours, which is quite a bit for a little pump like this. Okay, anyway, enough gab. So I'm filling up the Umrex Notos with the Goyojo thermal on it, which has been really fun, by the way. So it has its own fill port. We're going to stick it right on there. It is filled to 2,000 PSI right now. So I'm going to adjust my needle. We're just going to fill up to 3000 psi, and we will go ahead and plug it in. So again, make sure your bleed valve is loose. Plug it in, and then you're gonna, once it starts up, you're gonna push the start button here. And then you're gonna close your bleed valve once it starts. And you can see right here, it starts filling. It'll slow down once it hits about 2000. Yep, right there. So that's when it just caught up with the pressure of the gun. Okay, so there you have it. This is actually the second compressor that I've just recently reviewed that beeps when it's done and keeps that beep up until you release the pressure. I've never seen it on any of the other compressors that I've reviewed, and I've reviewed a lot of compressors. But I actually really like that feature because I have ADHD. I'll turn this on and go walk away and get distracted and start doing something else, which I know is terrible to do with PCP compressors. But that's why I always use auto stop, and just having that beep there with it is just an extra bonus. But I really like inside the beep, this is your standard PCP compressor. You know, it's all the regular stuff. You've got all the nice things that you want. You've got your auto stop, which for me is a must-have. You've got your temperature, which is really nice, especially if you're kind of pushing the limits of these smaller compressors and you want to fill a little bit of a bigger tank. Something like this, you can fill it all day long. Fill it, shoot, fill it, shoot, fill it, shoot. It's small enough the compressor's not going to build up heat or whatever. But if you're trying to fill like small bottles or just guns with big tanks, having the temperature gauge is really nice to keep an eye on it so you don't kill it with heat. Really just kind of all the things that you normally see in one of these little pancake compressors. So, initial thoughts? Yeah, I like it. Built-in inverter, kind of got all the stuff that you expect, and kind of nice that it's from Goyojo because I've used a bunch of their optics on different guns and such. So, as always, I will be holding on to this for a while. I will be using it. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. I'll have links to this down there, and let me know what you think. There's a billion of these compressors out there now. Like, we're in a spot where it's so cheap to get a good PCP compressor, and I just want the more powerful ones to get to this level, or at least a little bit closer. Like the GX line of like the CS4, CS4i, those are really good compressors, and if we can get that level of compressor where it's liquid cooled and capable of filling a bigger tank, or even if it's not liquid cooled but it can just run for longer and fill a bigger tank, then that would be sick. If we could just bring that price point down a little bit, make them more widespread so lots of different companies have them, so there's a little more competition in the market, I would love that. So the fact that Goyojo is branching out into PCP compressors, for me at least, is awesome. I'm excited about it.